Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So I've got this railroad clip here that I've flattened out, and I've never made a Viking seax before, so I thought I might as well. This is good knife steel. It's a water hardening knife steel, so I should be able to make me a cool knife out of it. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in the forge and get started. So I've been reducing this down with my big massive 5-pound hammer, and I've been realizing there's a lot of steel here. Like, there's way more steel than I need. This is still probably, I don't know, 2/3 as thick as I need to be. I probably need to get it closer to what's up at the tip right here. But I'm definitely going to be cutting off a little chunk on the bottom. Because I definitely, especially with the fact that the tip of a seax goes about 1/3 of the way, like the angle starts about 1/3 of the way down the blade, that's going to stretch the blade quite a bit. So I think I'm going to cut it off around here and continue shaping this maybe somewhere around there. Seems a little better. But there are people that have made whole katanas out of one clip, so this is way more steel than I need. But I'm going to go ahead and throw it back in the forge, cut that off, and continue cleaning it up. I'm gonna move to my 3-pounder. This is a lot more controllable for me than this big 5-pounder. Although the 5-pound hammer is actually really good for flattening out these clips, which I've been doing quite a bit over the past few days. So, or the past few times that I've been blacksmithing. So I'm actually really happy that I made that. Also, as you can see, I made some proper big, thick, chunky flat stock tongs specifically for this purpose because I didn't have any real chunky ones I could use, sturdy ones. So I'm happy about that as well. But I'm going to get back to kind of refining that piece before I start shaping it. Alright, so I've got this railroad clip broken down pretty well. It's to the thickness rather, that I am looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off the tip, about like that. Start forming the tip. Once I've got that fairly well formed, I'm going to move on to the tang, which I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do for that yet. This is a big piece to break down like that, so we'll see what happens with that. So this is looking pretty good as far as a rough profile. I am going to move on to some refinement. This is still a really thick blade, and it's actually pretty wide considering I am going to be doing some beveling, which is going to spread it even wider. So I am going to draw it out a little bit more, thin it down some, and just kind of clean everything up to where I'm liking it, and bevel it. And I'm not sure if I'm going to make this a two-part video. I might. This is a pretty big knife, so we'll see how long it takes to grind, but it may end up being a two-parter, in which case I'll probably end it at the end of the forging, and then part two will be grinding and handling and all that. So I've gone ahead and beveled it. I am going to need to do some rough grinding just to get that profile that I was looking for in there. With a piece, with a knife this big, it's kind of hard to get a very even bevel edge down the whole length. So I am going to take it to my large 2x72 belt grinder and just get a profile grind in, just to kind of get that shape looking more like a seax and less like a, I don't even know what it looks like right now. It just needs some work. That's the bottom line. So I'm gonna go take that over there and kind of clean that up, and then I will do I'll take some more pieces of that, some more pieces of the railroad clip and kind of test quench them in water just to make sure there's no fractures. I've done a couple tests, but I just want to make for sure before I go ahead and stick this in water and then, you know, be really sad when there's 5 stress cracks throughout. So I'm going to do that, and then that should be probably it for the part 1 of the video, or for the part 1 of this project, the part 1 video of this project. That should be about it for the part 1 video of this project. So yeah, I'm going to take it over to my grinder real quick, clean it up a little bit, show you guys what I got. So I've gone ahead and cleaned up the profile quite a bit. Now it looks a lot more like a seax, and I've done just a very, very rough grind, just to kind of give a kind of idea where the bevel is going to be on this. But this is actually like a really massive knife. Like, you can't really tell. My hands are medium to regular sized. But I mean, this is going to be a really thick knife. I'm not going to do any grinding on here, so this is going to be just a massive chopper kind of a knife. I'm going to do a demonstration of it, of its capabilities when I finish it in part 2. But this is a piece of 3/8" square stock, and as you can see, it's pretty much the same size. This is a 3/8" thick carbon steel chopper of a knife. I'm tempted to call it the Texas seax. For those of you who don't know, the term Saxon, in reference to, you know, the barbarian tribes in Europe, some of them, like Anglo-Saxons and that sort of name actually comes from the sax, spelled S-A-X or S-E-A-X. It's actually the root of Saxon. So it was used by a lot of different barbarian tribes in that kind of northwestern Europe area, in place of a sword when, you know, a sword was a lot more expensive because steel and iron making techniques were still pretty primitive. You could make this fairly easily and quickly, and it didn't cost nearly as much, and it was still a pretty effective fighting tool. So yeah, but I am going to go ahead and continue working on this. But thank you guys so much for watching part 1. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and a comment, and please subscribe, and head on over to the second video, which I will have a link to in the description. It will also be part of a playlist about making this. And for more of my videos about making knives, you can go to my Forging Knives playlist. I have several videos on there. But thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one.